All right, so let's talk about something deeply philosophical, something that splits the male brain into two equal halves. Would you rather have 1,000 baddies or one so-called good girl? Now, before you shout, bro, that's personal preference. Hold up, because apparently there's a right answer. At least according to this guy I saw ranting online like it was his TED Talk moment after seeing a poll in Austin Wayne's community feed. So the poll says, Option A, 1,000 baddies. Option B, one good girl. And this dude clicked on 1,000 baddies faster than someone skips an unskippable ad. No hesitation, no thoughts, just vibes. But then plot twist. 80% of guys voted for the good girl, and he was shook. He was like, wait, y'all are supposed to be the enlightened ones, the elite manosphere gigachads, not the kind of dudes still getting scammed into buying alpha male soap bars from crypto fitness YouTubers. He really thought people who watch Austin Wayne had cracked the code. But nah, turns out they chose loyalty and love over 1,000 baddies. And this man took that personally. Like, y'all flunked the test, my dudes. See, in his mind, this wasn't an opinion-based question. This was objective, like a math test. And the only correct answer? The baddies, all of them. Why? Because according to him, baddies represent realer experiences, authenticity, truth. You know, like Plato's cave, but with eyelashes and waist trainers. His argument? If you can get a baddie, you can get the good girl too. But if you only go for the good girl, you might never even get in the game. It's like saying you skip the gym and still want to be a personal trainer. Nah, bro, you gotta lift first. He also suspects a lot of guys choose the good girl, not because she's actually better, but because they've got PTSD from dating anyone mildly attractive in the past. They're like, I just want a girl who won't cheat, ghost me, or scream at me in public. Which is fair, but also kind of sad, like giving up steak forever because one time you got food poisoning. Then he dropped this spicy take. The only difference between a good girl and a baddie is that the good girl already got ghosted by Chad a few times and is now just trying to settle down before her eggs clock out. I mean, yikes. But also, that's a heavy assumption to make over a poll, my guy. He paints this whole backstory where the good girl is actually 29, hiding a kid from a previous relationship, has a history with guys who look like Calvin Klein models, and is now pretending to be into traditional values because she's tired of being left on read. Meanwhile, the baddie is still out here living her best Instagram-filtered life, sipping iced lattes and ignoring your texts. And he's like, honestly, they both want the same guy. One's just better at lying about it. He believes every woman, regardless of the label, would ditch her oofy-doofy loyal man the second the right guy comes along. And who's the right guy? The man who picked the baddies, the man with options, the Chad, the Jigga Chad, the god of Thunderswipe. And to prove this theory, he goes on a tangent about how some guys, usually short, average-looking, or not white, he claims, just know deep down they can't compete. So they settle. They become the professional fluffers, hype men for taller, better-looking guys. Just standing there, nodding along while their crush giggles at the 6'3" white dude with a jawline that could cut glass. And he's like, stop giving premium gas to the guy who stole your girl. What are you, a free valet for another man's confidence? Then he pulls out the saddest case study of all, a girl who once dated a tall, chiseled dude who admitted he could open a dating app at 10 p.m. and have a date by 10:05. And how did she respond? Not by deleting the app, not by swearing off men. She just sighed and said, well, that's just how it is now. Like she just got her coffee order wrong but still drank it anyway. Even though this guy didn't want kids, was emotionally unavailable, and probably thought therapy was just a gym session with headphones, she still chose him. Why? Because he had the look. Meanwhile, her 5'7" Asian friends with actual shared values were left as emotional support platonic side characters in her romantic drama. And here's where our narrator gets fired up. He's like, bruh, that's the cold hard truth. Even when women say they want a loyal man with values, they're still out here dating the guy who looks like he fell out of a Calvin Klein billboard. And the kicker? She even confessed that this guy treated her like a backup plan. But did she leave? Nope. Just tolerated it. Why? Because attraction is hard to find. That's the equivalent of saying, I know this pizza has nails in it, but it's hot and cheesy, so. So he's not just roasting women here, he's going after the guys too. Especially the ones who convince themselves that if they just become a better listener, if they just read more Brene Brown, they'll finally win her heart. But nope, not according to him. He says those dudes are just a backup safety net for when Chad doesn't reply fast enough. His final mic drop? The world doesn't reward loyalty, it rewards attraction. And if you're not attractive, you either gotta fake it till you make it, or be ready to get left for someone who can. And you know what? That's a bleak way to look at dating. But it's also kind of the internet's favorite hobby, turning social dynamics into a Marvel-level villain origin story. So next time you see that would you rather poll, just remember, it might not be about preference. It might just be about who you believe you could actually pull. And if you're in a restaurant and the tall guy with the smirk walks in, do what this dude would do. Fake a stomach ache, pull a Houdini, and disappear before the smirk hits you in the soul.